Hello, FIFA faithful. Bearhamms here with episode 56 of Youth Squad Gods with Northampton Town, and we're just going to get straight into it. It is the Europa League final, and we will be facing Inter Milan at Borussia Park. It's pretty straightforward here, as we'll just go straight into it. Yeah, a lot of crazy things going on right now, as... Oh, got a message here. I'll just... flip that away. This is going to be unedited. So you might hear a lot of ums and a lot of ahs. Yeah, this is going to be a very laid back, though I mean it's going to be a pretty intense game, but it will be a very laid back style of broadcast. As you can tell, I'm not wearing a hat at the moment. I'm just kind of letting it dry out. It's not usually my hairstyle. I usually have an undercut where the sides are very short and then the top's very long. But because I haven't had a haircut since August, it's kind of all over the place. So I'm just going to let it hang out for a little bit and enjoy the show. So we do have our Europa League lineup in, which is Ralph Van Hooijdonk, Downing, all those guys. I do have a bunch of our Premier League starters on the bench just in case if something does happen. And I am going to stick to my promise. Ralph Van Hooijdonk will be the captain of this match. So if we do win, the top goal scorer gets to lift the cup, which, man, he deserves it. I mean, 13 goals in, I think, 14 games? Or maybe 15 games, I don't know, but it's pretty close on par, a goal a game. So I don't know how much I can actually record of this. As you can see, there is the trophy. There's the kind of the playoff tree. I think I'm just going to sim through this as quickly as I can, just because I don't want to get any copyright stuff. So now we'll get to the select sides, get that out of the way. Even though I'm not editing it, technically I am going to cut it right at halftime because I do use Share Factory as my editing system. And after 10 minutes, the gameplay likes to skip every once in a while. So we'll just cut it at halftime. So we'll have about 2 7-minute long videos. So I think I'm done giving the preamble to this episode. Let's get straight into gameplay. There is Dorian Huber. God, just a great player. So happy I picked him up from Leicester for $20 million this year. Another good signing. Jack Allen, the Silver Fox. He's going to center that to O'Neal. O'Neal cuts back. He'll find Downing. If Downing can turn, he fires. Gets a shot off, but it will be blocked. As Milan will clear that out. Giles Hall will win the ball. Great play on the... is that Icardi? Yes, that is. Icardi must be in his 30s. I think we are in the year like 2026. As there's Allen. He's going to find Martin. Martin with a long shot. Oh, and he hits the post. It goes straight to Downing. And already Luke Downing gets the Cobblers on the board here. As Martin almost had himself a screamer. As I don't know where Downing's running, but he's very determined to find a part of the, I don't know, the box or whatever. He's almost on target, but... once again, Downing picking up the scraps. We already have a 1-0 lead. Wow, that was lightning quick. And because I do have Hooijdonk as our Capitan for the day, he will not be subbed out. So if I do have to put in Aguilera or someone equivalent in, I mean, there's no one equivalent to Aguilera, but if I do have to put someone in, I'll just put Hooijdonk at the cam roll. So what can we do now to extend the lead? As we might get another shot, as Downing does get some sort of a shot on, but good save by the keeper, Onana, the former, I think he's used to play at Ajax. I'm pretty sure of that. So we will get, nope, it will go to Inter Milan. As Gaia finds Damari Gray, former Birmingham City and Leicester City player. Finds himself in Serie A these days. So he tries to get a cross off, but the Swiss right back Roche was well placed. Martin to Roche, now to Giles Hall. Giles Hall making a run. He has a bunch of maroon nearby, but Martin is going to switch the play to Adam Zero. Another good addition this season. I do like Adam Zero. Except for that pass, though, as that was easily intercepted. And now Brozovic, the Croatian, will find Karamo. Karamo centers that to Roninger. Back to Brozovic. Oh, get that through. There we go. Hubert. Great play, Hubert. He'll find McCutcheon. McCutcheon getting a very rare start. I mean, he is the Europa League left wing back, but I got to figure him out because he's one of our better players overall-wise, but just because we don't have that position anymore, it's kind of weird. So Roche does get across in the box. There's a header! Oh, Donk! Donk hits the post! Ah, Nertz. That would have been another just great addition to our lead. Now Carabo on the wing, going against McCutcheon. McCutcheon easily gets beat by the Duke. The Juke, excuse me. I usually get Juke and Deke mixed up, as Zero is going to get that to the Silver Fox. Allen centers that to O'Neill. O'Neill's going to get that to Roche. Now Roche waiting for that run by Downing, which Downing will get the run in, has some space. Going against Skriniar. He'll get across in the box. Jack Allen! Ah, easy save for Onana. It's already the first half hour of this game has been going the Cobblers' way. It's Karamo. Getting across in. Good header by Hall. O'Neill find the Silver Fox. Sees a run by McCutcheon. McCutcheon. Ah, come on, Donk. You got to make that run. Won't matter, though, as Downing does get the ball. We'll get it to Donk. Donk gets it to Downing, but pass is just not on target. Zero. Finds McCutcheon. Here we go, O'Neill. Martin to Downing. There you go. Find Allen. Oh, poor pass. Maybe something for Inter Milan here as Icardi. I wonder how old he is in this game. He must be late 20s. Flip set through, easy play for Giles Hall. There we go. Oh, there we go. Donk able to recover. Tries to get a pass to McCutcheon, and he eventually will get one. And there we go. He has some real estate here. Roche is open. Real could find Downing, and Downing almost scores again. Ah, Luke Downing. I'm not expecting this type of performance out of him, but nonetheless, almost gets his second goal of the game. So now we are into stoppage time now, and it's just about, I mean, holy crap, 61%. We've been killing the possession so far. Great run by Martin. We will get the ball back with just, 30 seconds left in stoppage time. Stoppage time, come on, added time. As you can see, I make a lot of mistakes during the games, and thankfully I do edit them out. So, I mean, not even the best ones get put into the final cut. But here we go after 45 minutes here in Germany. Got ourselves an early lead thanks in part to Luke Downing just picking up the scraps. And I feel like this is kind of one of those games we are just going to have to take as many advantages as possible. And thankfully the little guy did it. So now it's just down to the next 45 minutes. Oh my, they haven't got a shot on goal yet. That is, ooh boy. I feel like in the next half they're really going to bring the thunder. I feel like they might get a one-shot, one-goal type of thing. But nonetheless, we're doing good so far. Great possession. Everyone's, we could be playing better, but still, it's not bad. As Inter Milan will start with the ball. Damari Gray finds Gaia, former Valencia wingback. Brozovic to Icardi. Oh, good pass to Karamo. Caramo tries to get something through, but oh, it was offside anyway, so it wouldn't matter if he did somehow sneak the ball in or not, as now 0. Finds McCutcheon, who's going to try to find Jack Allen. Jack Allen just going to get easily pushed off by Ruggiero. Luis Felipe switches the pass. Switches the play to Gaia. Martin couldn't get the ball. Oh, good play by Huber, but he just can't get it completely out at the moment. As Roninger tries some fancy moves, but a great play by our plucky little Irishman, Andy O'Neill. He's waiting for a run by Donk. He'll finally... I mean, he didn't even run. It was just more of a jog, just trying to find Downing. It's not going to get there, as it'll be an easy catch for Onana. Onana launches one up. Easy win for Inter Milan. Brozovic out wide to Gray. Roche has been doing a good job on him so far. It's Martin. We'll find O'Neill. O'Neill cuts back. He'll find Allen. Allen's going to try to find... I don't know who he was trying to find, but it was neither to Donk or McCutcheon. Caramo centers that to Ikizi. McCutcheon maybe got something to that one, but he'll get juked out by the Inter Milan midfielder. Is now Roninger. Easy pass, easy shot, easy goal. You knew it was coming. Their first recorded shot, and I believe it is Brozovic getting the goal on that one. As just after the hour mark here at Borussia Park, Inter Milan has evened it up at 1. So I think I'm going to start making some subs here. Who do we got? First off, I totally forgot who to... I mean, we have a bunch of guys, but they're all tired, so it's going to be one of those things where we probably bring them on late. And, oh, I forgot to cut it. So we'll just cut it right here. All right, welcome back. Still not going to make any subs just yet. I feel like we got about another 15 minutes out of a bunch of our players. I think we'll bring on Aguilera and company later. So Downing. We'll find O'Neill. O'Neill to Donk. Donk will find Allen. Allen gets that through. O'Neill shoots! No! Andy! Oh, he could have been clutch once again. Ah, that was some good passing. Got to give credit where credit's due on that one. I love how Lund got the Golden Glove Award in the Premier League. Was sensational in those games, but when it comes to Europa League, I think he only has like 2 clean sheets out of like 13 competitions. I mean, granted, we don't have our best defenders in, but nonetheless, as Roninger takes a weird step towards that one. So now Caramo will get past McCutcheon, as it will be an easy save for Lund. Lund will try to get it to 0. 0 just can't get it out of the way. So that was a really risky pass by our Danish goalkeeper, Martin. Oh, float that through. There we go. McCutcheon will get it. Good touch by him. Floats across the box. Far post. Downing shoots and scores. And it's the little guy again here in the 73rd minute. Little Luke Downing. I mean, he might be small, but he is sure mighty today. He gets himself the brace, and now, I mean, we might want to put some more defensive-minded players in, and you know what? I think I'm going to make a sub here. I think I'm going to take Jack Allen out, and we are going to give a last run-through to Olkowski. As I said in the, As I said in the last episode, I did sell him to Leeds United, so next year he will not be a Cobbler. And you know what? He deserves to be on the field when we lift that Europa League trophy. He's been here since day one. He was our first striker. Wasn't a good one, let's just put it that way. But when he plays cam and center mid, he's got the grit. That's for sure. So I think we'll leave it at that. I might bring on Collins later. That might be a smart move to take Martin out. As much as Martin has been helpful getting that long shot in, just for Downing to get the rebound. So we're looking a little better now as Downing gets his second goal of the game. Just got to figure out how to get it out of the zone here, as Roche is going to have to switch the play to 0. 0 to Martin. Martin's going to get that to Hall. Didn't have a good run by Roche. He will... Oh! Good pass! Donk! Finish it! Yeah! There we go! Ralph Van Huydonk, goal number 14 in the Europa League. We got a 3-1 lead now, and I think we're safe now. I think it's time to start putting in some better players, as Kieran Dodd will get a run through in for McCutcheon. So we'll have one more sub left. And who's another player we should sub in? Let's take a look here. Ooh, tough. I think Mason we might have to put in. We'll probably put in for Hall. So we'll have a 6'7" center back, oh, he's only 6'2". I thought we had 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". Because if we had Marcus Evans instead of Huber, that would be the case. So there we go, Ralph Van Huydonk getting a goal. That will surely put Inter Milan away. So now we just patiently wait out the next 17 minutes. Maybe get some more goals. And you know what? I think that is another assist for Andy O'Neill. He has 2 assists today. So while Downing is, on a hat trick, O'Neill's almost on a hat trick of assists. So now there might be a chance here for Inter Milan, as now Damari Gray gets across the box. No match for Adam Zero, as he gets his just robust Polish frame in the way. So we'll get the corner. Olkowski now wearing the number 39 because we gave Ross Hawley the number 9. And he will get the ball. A great pass by Andy O'Neill. Olkowski, a little rusty as you can see. Gets that to O'Neill. O'Neill's going to try to get it up to Donk. Donk just was not ready and available for it, as he had to make Onana clear the ball out just for safety. Oh, good shot by Olkowski, but it was deflected, so we will get a corner out of this. O'Neill, always at the helm for corners. Gets across the box, but it will be an easy save for Onana. He was aiming for Zero, who has just a power header. Good header by Mason. Better pass by O'Neill, as O'Neill... Oh, he sees Dodd. Dodd has to cut back. Oh, tries to center it through. And we are into stoppage time now. So now it's... Yeah, I'm not going to, be a dick and just hold on to the ball and wait. It would be fun to get one more goal here, as there's an easy poke by Andy O'Neill. 2 assists on the day for the lad. He might get the ball again. Nope, just over his head. Kind of hard for a guy like him, only 5'8". So Inter Milan try their best, but they will not succeed, as we have won the Europa League. Crazy to think. I didn't think at the beginning of the season we'd win the double, but nonetheless, Ralph Van Huydonk, deserved captain of this competition. 14 goals in 17 appearances. He was just simply phenomenal. 5 goals against Luzern, 3 goals against Sporting Lisbon. So they get to celebrate this joyous occasion, and we get to lift a beautiful license trophy. The first UEFA license trophy we get to lift up on this channel. I know that's a weird thing to celebrate, but we need to celebrate it. Here we go, Ralph Van Huydonk. Didn't get his fair share in the Premier League. Gets to lift himself the Europa League trophy. are. We are Europa League champions, defeating Inter Milan by a score of 3-1. And before we write off season 7 into the sunset, we are going to go through the squad report, and I'm just going to talk about the players one by one. So if you just wanted to watch gameplay, you can tune out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next season. But if you guys want to stay and listen to me chat about the players, then sit back and relax and enjoy the show. That was a weird delivery, but you know what? I'm not a show person, so whatever. So we'll do it by stats, and we'll do it by appearances. So at the top, Dorian Hubert. As I said before, best signing of the save, without a doubt. I mean, Aguilera for $600,000. That's a given, but this was just a fantastic one. We were having some depth issues at center back, and Dorian Hubert stepped up. 82, gone up by 5, 52 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, 16 clean sheets. Did get himself on the team of the competition. I mean, he deserved it through and through. And I'm excited to have him next season, especially in the Champions League. And he really showed himself this year. He was doing double duty with Premier League and Europa League. There are only a couple players that I felt comfortable doing that with, and the Belgian is one of them. Going next, it is Matthias Lund, who actually grew by 2. I was surprised because he's to that point now where he is at his potential, since he was a showing great potential player. Fantastic season. Finally won the Golden Glove in the Premier League. Had 15 clean sheets. Had 1 more than Alisson of Liverpool. But what did kill him in the team of the competition, why he wasn't in it, was the average, as he only had a 6.8. And as you saw in the Europa League, 13 appearances, only 2 clean sheets. So I'm hoping next season, when we're back in Europe for the Champions League, his form's a lot better. Because I don't trust Max Roberts at all. I don't know. That's just me. But nonetheless, he's been fantastic the past couple of years, and he's just going to be the goalkeeper till the end of it. I wish I could show you guys more highlights of his saves, but they're just not that interesting. They're not show-stopping saves or anything. They're just good saves. But yeah, he's been a great player for us, and he will probably continue to do so. Wilson Emilio Parana, 80 overall, up by 2. A lot better this year in terms of offensive production. Last year he only had 3 goals, but he doubled that to 6, and having 6 in the Premier League, pretty spectacular. That's why he found himself in the Team of the Year list. Yeah, another great pickup. Remember, we got him from Blackburn Rovers after they got relegated. And yeah, he's been a stud in the CDM role. I mean, apart from his height, he is fantastic. And he has a great name, Piranha. He lives up to his name. He's just a short little bastard. Just bites at you, gets the ball, and makes plays happen. Next guy, of course, Federico Aguilera. Should have got the MVP. That was total hogwash how Gabriel Jesus got Player of the Year. That made no sense to me. As Federico Aguilera, 37 appearances, 24 goals, 5 assists in the Premier League. Yeah, it's what you want out of him. He's just a special player. And I think once this whole save is over, I'm going to really miss him. Him, and there's another player that I'll also miss, but we'll get to him later. We'll also talk about Federico's stats as well in terms of goals, because now, with 25 goals, if you add it to the other 3 years he's played for us, remember, he actually hasn't played for us for 3 out of the 7 years. So he hasn't been there too long. And in 4 seasons, he has 111 goals, which is about 27.5 a season. And, it's not quite 30, but, I mean, he performs. And he gets his 2nd straight Golden Boot. This time he handedly beat the competition. That was Gabriel Jesus and Andrea Bellotti. So I'm expecting more good things out of him. I am training him He's just about at that 80 mark. So once we get him there, we'll give some opportunities to some other players. But done talk about Federico. You already know a lot about him. Ross Hawley. Man, this guy stepped up in a big way this year. Overall of 80, up by 3. Last year I brought him during the January transfer window just as safety precautions for a striker because we didn't have that many short strikers. I mean, we had a bunch of tall ones over 6'3". So I got a little guy like Hawley, and he's perfect. Like, I mean, he took Downing's job as the Premier League striker, and with 8 goals, 7 assists, including 2 goals in the final day to secure us that title, he had a fantastic year. And then 6 goals, 4 assists in the Europa League. God, that's impressive. So I'm hoping for him next year. Might have him do some double duty with the Champions League and the Premier League. That goal total might get to 20. Who knows? For the next 2, I'm just going to talk about them as together because I feel like they're just identical players. I feel like Kieran Dodd would have more assists, but because of how I play, I'm more to the right side. So more the right-sided players are going to get those assists. So that's why Grant has 7 again. That's probably why he was voted onto the Team of the Year. So again, Lewis Grant with the same amount of assists he had last year, which is fantastic, by the way. Kieran Dodd, he did his job. I mean, those two, they pretty much have those wing-back roles until the end of the save, unless we find just an absolute stud. But I don't think I'm going to plan on bringing one anytime soon. Ollie Mason, 81, up by 3. He has really found himself back at the center back role. I remember earlier in his career he was a center back, but he just wasn't fitting the bill. He was just too flimsy of a player, so we put him at that CDM role, and of course he had a couple bangers, so it's like, all right, we're just going to keep him there for the time being. But since we've added a lot more center mids, we brought him back, and with him, Evans, and Huber, it's a solid 3 center back formation. As in 36 appearances, he did have an assist. That was a good pass. Got that to Hawley. I got that one to Hawley. 14 clean sheets, a couple yellows, but he was fantastic. Ralph Van Hooijdonk. Oh boy, this guy's this guy. So I read a lot of your comments. I know he's a guy that you guys like him a lot. I know you guys like him a lot. He has a memorable name, and he's actually a pretty decent player. And, I mean, 16 games, 14 goals, 5 assists. Does he deserve more time next year? Yes. But it's going to be hard, though, when you got Aguilera. So we're going to try to figure out ways to play him at striker because that is his best role. Him at cam, it seemed like he was a bit stunted there. He wasn't able to, unleash his potential. So I will try to utilize him more as a super sub. I think if like Aguilera, since we are going to have Champions League and he's going to be playing both, as soon as he scores a goal or two, we're just going to take him out right away and put in Hooijdonk just to save up on stamina. But what a year. 18 goals, 6 assists, and he only played like a handful of Premier League games, which, I mean, again, he was coming off the bench, so that's kind of a bad stat line when you got 16 appearances and 1 goal. But when you look at all the other competitions, Carabao Cup, 3 goals in 5 games, Europa League, 14 goals, 16 games. Yes, he is a solid backup, European striker, and yeah, he's, of course, staying next year. Elliot Collins. He is our best player, and he is our most boring player. 84 overall, up by 3, had 7 goals on the season. 6 of those were in a 5-game span. I just decided to shoot with him, and then just stopped. Again, he's a very boring player, as he is from the youth academy. It's a very boring name, very boring face, but he performs, and he is our best player, so we might as well keep him on the starting 11. Marcus Evans, 72 up by 1. I was looking more into it. His potential at the start was 56 to 74, so he's hitting very close to the high potential range, but he played almost all the Premier League games, and what can I say? He's a fantastic center back, and it's a shame that he didn't get Team of the Year, even though he had a better average. Yeah, he had a better average than Mason, and he had more clean sheets in the Premier League, but they didn't give him the honors, which is stupid. But he has won that award in the Premier League once, and that's enough to me. That's enough for me to say he is a great player, and he is. He is. I think out of all the saves I've done on YouTube, he might be one of my favorite center backs. And again, it's like with Lund, he makes great plays, but like when you consider goals and when you consider other tackles from other players on other career modes from other channels, like he's not that guy that's gonna just bulldoze a dude. He's more of that guy that he has 6 feet and 6 foot, like he's 6'6", and he's gonna use every square inch of his body to get in the way with finesse as opposed to power. And he's made some crazy game-saving blocks. And every once in a while he'll have a crunching tackle or two, but he's fantastic. And if I had to say who my top defender was of this FIFA 19, it'd probably be him. And it's crazy to think because he's only 72 overall, but he plays so much better than that. Little Luke Downing, the star of the Europa League final. I did screw up. Andy O'Neill did not get 2 assists in that game. I thought he did get the flip pass into Donk, but it was Downing. So Downing had 2 goals and 1 assist. He truly was the man of the match, had a 9.6 rating. And I'm proud of him. I'm very proud of this guy. I remember a couple years ago, once we had Donk, and Donk really wasn't fitting it, neither was him, and we were still in that 4-3-3. I was ready to sell him off. Like, he was our best rated player, but he just wasn't doing anything. And then once we somehow just figured out a formation that worked with Donk, Donk started to work well with Downing. And then before you knew it, he was starting to score again. And now until only like a couple months ago, he was our Premier League striker, and he was actually putting in some decent numbers. As you can see, 7 goals and 5 assists in 23 appearances. And he's not the top striker, too. He's that, as I like to put it, I have a Shrek and I have a donkey. Aguilera is our Shrek, Donk is our Shrek, and then our donkeys are Hawley and Downing. Just those little guys that kind of weave their way through and find open space. Yeah, 7 goals, 5 assists. That's impressive. And I think he's he was at one point on the top 25 list for assist. But again, this guy's staying till the end, and I hope he pulls out another performance like this in the future. All right, we were still recording. I just was not sure, and I have it on a 15-minute timer. So once we go past that, it cuts off right away. So there might be some skips in this one, but oh well. I mean, you'll probably hear most of it anyways. It's only like a couple seconds skip, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So yes, Dragan Dragic, 77 up by 3. Finally, after years of being on loan, he has been showcased in the first team, and I don't know, man. Like, he's okay. Like, hasn't really impressed me outright. I think even though he has 7 I mean, he's 77 overall. I still prefer the next guy we're going to talk about. I think it's just he has no character to him. And I kind of feel bad. Like, Tomo did a really good job customizing him, but he's just a wet blanket. I mean, you'd think a guy who has a sprint speed, well, I mean, we'll show his sprint speed. A sprint speed of 99, even with his acceleration at 99 and agility at 99, and you see his finishing at 93, you'd think this be the perfect player. He has the high attacking work rate. Like, on paper, this guy's awesome, but he's just not there. There's just so many other players I'd rather have than him. We'll still keep him just because he was customized. So we'll utilize him in other ways. I mean, we're gonna have a bunch of games to play next season, so he'll probably be part of the Sim squad. But if O'Neal or any other good player gets hurt, I'll put him in. He can produce, that's for sure. Andy O'Neal. Now this is crazy. Like, look at his overall or his averages. That's insane. All of them are above 7, and then you look at the Europa League, he's at almost an 8, then the Carabao Cup 7.7. Even the Premier League, he did quite well, and I'm happy that he's finally found his place in the squad. He's not quite the starter, but if you need him to start, he will. And again, he's this guy that just somehow scores at the right moments. And I mean, he did it in the Europa League against Schalke. He got the game-winning goal. And then, I mean, of course, the game that I always reference, the Carabao Cup game against Tottenham, where he scores 4 goals. And then there's just these little games where last year we needed points to stay in the top 7 to get that Europa League spot. And he got hurt against Arsenal. Not only continued to play, he was tackling people while still hurt, and then got the equalizer in the late stages of the game. And if you really think about it, he's the reason why we won this cup, if you put all the dots together. 7 goals, 7 assists. He is the team leader all time in assists. And it's weird to think that when you have a player like Aguilera, this is my favorite player. Andy O'Neal is my favorite player. He's one of the few players that he comes off the screen like there's a character behind him. He's this plucky little guy that doesn't matter how good you are at the game, he is going to beat you in many ways. He can score, and probably his most underappreciated trait is his tackling. He is so good at tackling and interceptions. He is so scrappy, and I don't get how he gets the ball sometimes against like some of the biggest guys. He's just able to get through the crevices and cracks, get the ball, and then set up some scoring opportunities. I mean, it's why he had 7 assists in all competitions. So, again, as I promised you guys a long time ago, he will be in the Champions League roster when we get to that spot. So once again, Andy O'Neal, my favorite player of the save. Barry McCutcheon. I don't know what to do with this guy. I mean, honestly. 81 overall, up by 3. He is a potential to be special player. But we just don't have that left wing spot anymore. And I'm considering selling him. I mean, we'd get a lot of coin out of him. And I feel like in these last couple seasons, we should really get some serious coinage and buy some really fantastic regens. But for now, he is our backup left wing back, and he's probably the biggest disappointment on the side. He had an opportunity to win a job in the starting 11 when we had that 4-3-3, did score a goal, but then just went flat. And now he's stuck to playing Europa League games. I mean, he did get that assist to Downing. That was the game-winning goal, but he could do so much better. I think I'm going to go through a lot of these guys quicker. Adam Zero, great pickup. Had some bumps in the road, but other than that, excited to have him on the squad. Giles Hall, man, he's okay. He's better than Boggle, that's for sure. Henry Martin, he is a potential to be special player, and I'm hoping that his stats go up even quicker, so he might actually get some time in the Premier League instead of having him in the Europa League. He's a fantastic player, great stats on him. I just need to utilize him more. Tyler Bogle, I want to get rid of him. He almost cost us the Europa League. Yeah, that was a terrible pass. And don't really want to see more of him again. Bruno Eduardo, yay. Said it right, Rodolfo. 77 up by 2. I just don't know how to utilize this guy. I just don't. Because we have so many players of his height and his position, he's just starting to become the odd man out. And I think I'm just going to keep him for the Carabao Cup matches and some other ones. But other than that, I just don't have a use for EA, to be honest with you. All right, let's see how many guys we have left here. I want to get this done quick. Fabio Montandone. We'll keep him until someone wants to pay his release clause, which is only $4.2 million when he has an evaluation of 15. Yeah, 75 up by 4. He had a goal in the Europa League. Scored that one early. That was I think that was against Mattersburg. But well, now he's the 4th choice right wing back, so I don't see him really having a future here, sadly. Theo Roche, 73 up by 3. I'm going to be training this guy a lot more, try to get him to at least close to an 80. He is our backup wing back. He can play both sides. Had some flashes of greatness in the Europa League and also had some incredible blunders getting mixed up in positions. I mean, we're going to keep him. He's a solid backup. And yeah, I have nothing much to say about him. Brian Walsh, God, I feel so bad about this guy. He is another potential to be special player, but because we have O'Neal, because we have Dragic, we just haven't been able to, put him in games. So I think I'm going to try my best to get him into more games, as he did pretty decent in the Europa League. Had 2 goals, 1 assist, solid average, 7.7. Because this guy should probably be our cam of the future, but when you got Andy O'Neal, I don't know, man. Jack Allen. I was really second-guessing this signing at first, realizing that we already have EA, we already have Martin, we already have Piranha. Why do we need another 5'0" center mid? Well, he came alive in the Europa League. I mean, 4 assists and 2 goals, and they were only in like a span of 4 or 5 games. He had a couple of great goals, too, to keep us in some of those matches. And I mean, he's going to play more next season. Just, I don't know where. I don't know if he's going to be Champions League caliber. But good job, Jack Allen. You really showed yourself out there. Max Roberts. He's our backup. And by backup, we just hope to God that Lund doesn't get hurt again. 13 appearances, only 3 clean sheets. Should have done a lot better. He is another potential to be special player, but I just don't see it out of him. Olkowski, all reliable. Had his swan song, his curtain call against Inter Milan. I feel good. Felt great seeing him on the field celebrating with the team. Got one last run out. I mean, that's one way to do it. front of thousands of fans in Germany. So he will be at Ellen Road. I believe that's the name of the Leeds United Stadium. I think it is Ellen Road. So he'll be there with Marcelo Bielsa if he's still there. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Another player that's leaving that I actually haven't talked about is Aaron Reed. He signed a pre-contract to go to Crystal Palace, so we'll have another striker in the Premier League, as we do have Nick Wilson at Newcastle. Aaron Reed will be at Crystal Palace. I gave him a chance in the FA Cup, and he just didn't do anything. He's kind of garbage. Seamus Donaghy, I was training this guy, 77, up by 9. He's our cup striker, and he's the right age for it, so we'll just give him those opportunities. I mean, if one of our guys gets hurt, he's a perfect guy because his stats are incredible. Look at his strength, 94. Has a decent sprint speed as well, and then he has incredible shot power. Decent dribbling for a big guy, too. And yeah, no, Seamus Donaghy, he's been an experiment for pretty much the entire save. It's been years getting him developed. I've shipped him off to many clubs across Europe. But now he gets the chance to actually play for us, even though it's in a cup environment. But nonetheless, he will get more playing time next year. Oh, shoot, I gotta get the stats up by appearance. Who else do I need to talk about? We'll just look at this quick. Oh, yes. 2 guys that I signed up. I just signed them up just for, I don't know, not really shits and giggles, but I just signed them up just to maybe get some coin out of them. Got Mason Richardson and Will Davis. Will Davis, if he had a better overall, he'd be fantastic, as he is a 6'3" defenseman. He can play all 3 positions. I'd most likely put him at a center back role, but he's only 66 overall, and Mason Richardson's only at a 69. We can take a look at their statistics. He has the potential to be a special player, but we just don't have enough time for him. I will play him in games. I already have him in the Cup roster. He'll be replacing Aaron Reed, and then I have Will Davis in there as well, as he'll be the true backup. I mean, he'll be a third stringer behind McCutcheon and Dodd. So, I mean, other than that, that's it. We'll take a look at other things. We do have some of the news. We'll see who won Player of the Competition, as we are victorious. There is Elliot Collins, of course, just because he's the highest rated player. He gets to stand next to the trophy, even though he didn't even play in the game. Just stupid. And, all right, great. Another Northampton player has been gypped. Enters Till won Player of the Competition, even though Ralph Van Huydonk scored 14 goals in 16 games. What do you not get about that? God. Oh, this game is so dumb sometimes. So, poor Donk. Didn't get any accolades for that, but you know what? We'll always remember the great performance of Ralph Van Huydonk in the 2025-2026 Europa League. I think that's it. I think everything has been squared away. Maybe we can take a look at the prize money. Okay, 8.5. I mean, got a crap ton of profit this season. So yeah, I think I'm just going to end it there.